the ninth chapter of Matthew, if you will, for a moment. Allow me to entertain it for a moment to let you know that Matthew and where we start off is not where it began, because there was another situation that went on before Jairus, the ruler of the Jews, the leader of the Jews. He had an issue, and this was an issue because his daughter was sick unto death. And many said that she was already dead when he called for Jesus to come to his house. Jesus was on his way to Jairus' house to see about his deaf daughter, his daughter that was on the verge of death. And while he was on his way, there was another incident that came up. This woman that had an issue of blood, been hemorrhaging for 12 long years. And you know how the story went. She felt if she could just touch the hem of his garment, she would be made whole. And lo and behold, when she touched his hem, she was healed of her condition. And Jesus had a talk with her and allowed her to come to profess and to confess everything that had been going on in her life. This was not just for him, but for those who was around him, that she may be a witness, that she could be a testimony to what God was able to do. She said, in so many words, I've been hemorrhaging for a long time. And I've tried medicine, I've tried physicians, I've tried everything I knew how to try, knew to try, and I didn't get any better, but kept getting worse. And I just believed if I could just touch your garment, and if I could just touch the hem, and I'm here to tell you this morning that the hem was not what healed her. It was him that healed her. It was not the hem. It wasn't an H-E-M that healed her. It was the H-I-M that healed her. And when she finished her conversation, Jesus said, now go and sin no more. He went on with Jairus, but I'm just here to tell you today that Jesus no respect of person. This woman, she was a widow. She was broke because she had spent all her money on medicine and physicians, and she didn't have any family, because in Leviticus they had a law that if someone was in this condition, they were unclean. So she had been put away by her husband, and her family was not around. She had nobody. But Jesus was still never too busy to take time out, even for this poor, sick, widow woman, to take care of her needs. And he still had love and had time to take care of Jairus, who was on the other side, a more rich man. Had power, had authority. He was a leader, a leading Jew figure. So he had position. But Jesus didn't show no respect nor disrespect for anybody. He showed the same love for this poor widow woman as he did for Jairus and his condition. So that lets me know today that I don't care what you're going through, and I don't care what your condition or your illness or your issue may be. Jesus will take time out to come see you. But I don't care how little it may seem, or how dense or how deep it may be. God is able to take care of all this. I don't care how much you messed up.
All right.
I don't care whether you've been in church for 3 days or for 30 years.
Come on, man.
Whatever you need, the Lord is willing and able to supply your need. This woman, she had a need met, and now here is Jairus. He's on his way down to Jairus' house, because the rumor is that his daughter was dead. His daughter was dead. And I'm here to tell you today that there's a lot of dead things around us. And there's a lot of folks that have already canceled some things out and assumed that things were dead. You've been there before where they have already cast you down or have already given up on you. You know what I'm talking about. There are those that will sit around and look at your children and say they'll never amount to anything because the dad wasn't nothing, and the mom came from a nothing family. They'll never amount to anything, but some way, somehow. That's why it doesn't pay to listen to everybody's point of view. And it doesn't pay to get caught up in everybody's thoughts and what they say. You know, there are folks that say, the Lord laid this on me. And when sometimes the only thing was laid on you was what you thought and what you felt. So make sure that when we say these things, that God is truly laying it on us. Because if we're relying on the Lord, He will lay something on you.
Come on now, I like that.
He lay something on us. There are folks that just to get their way with put God in it. God ain't no way to get their way. So I'm here to tell you today that when you speak and when you say they make sure that God is in it.
Yes,
now there are folks, as we said before, that will go about and will condemn and will crucify and will kill right folks off even before God has had a say about it. Let God have the last say. Now we live in a society right now and we live in a life where everything around us is going bad. We know things are tough. We know that there's layoffs. There are cutbacks, there are disappointment, there are discouragement, there are bills going up and pay wages going down. And if you're not careful, if you don't watch who you listen to, you'll almost be ready to throw in the towel, Greg. But because of the mere fact that sometimes when we're at our lowest, we have someone that God sends our way to let us know, even though it's rough right now, your extremity is God's opportunity. Thank you. I got one hand clap that understand that. Well, maybe you don't understand what I was saying. Let me bring it out this way. When it gets too hard for you, and then it's just right for God. Can I get a hand clap now? Maybe that was it. Maybe you don't understand that language. Or maybe somebody still understand. When you're at the end, your ending is God's beginning spot. So maybe you need that. Maybe one more time. Let's see it. I don't understand. Maybe the place where you stop is where God is ready to start. When you give up, God is ready. I'm not trying to hurt nobody's feelings. I'm just trying to help your faith this morning because we realize that we need faith. And without faith, it is impossible to please God. Amen? Just because you say you love God doesn't mean that we're eliminated from trials and struggles. We're going to have problems. We're going to have issues in our life. And there's going to be times that look like they don't look good for us. David said, when I walk through the valleys of the shadow of death, I'm not fearing any evil because I know he's still with me. The valleys of the shadow, just shadows. Something looks like it, but it's just shadows. And sometimes the shadow makes things worse than what they realize. Shadow can be real large sometimes and make the object 10 times larger than what it really is. So I'm here to tell you today that, yes, they're not dead. They are not dead. Why you say that? Well, when Jesus went to the house and when Jesus walked in, he looked at what was going on. They had music playing. Sad music, they had music, had minstrels, and they were in mourning right there, and they had also some folks that were crying and just tearing up. You know how we do at funerals. You know how we do, and most of the ones that tear the church up are the ones who are guilty. Didn't do anything for mom while she was living, cussed daddy out, treated brother, treated cousin so low down. Didn't even have time for them. Now they're dead and gone, and now they're trying to get off, trying to make their conscience right. But if you didn't do it when they were living, there ain't no need in hollering, shouting, falling out. And the ones who did what they could, those are the ones that's more laid back at the funeral. Their conscience is all right because they know they did all they could. They took care of them. They took care. They did what they could. They gave them water when they were thirsty. They wiped their head when they were hot. They did what they could. Called every now and then. They did their part. And they don't have that gift. So and some folks look at them like they're crazy because they're not shouting over it. But when you have done the best that you can, and friends don't understand, we know that God will take care of you. Now this woman, this lady that's supposed to be dead, this girl, this 12-year-old, just ironic that both of them had a 12 in their issue. The lady that had been in hemorrhage for 12 years. Wow. And then here is the daughter that was around 12 years of age. That now lay with her eyes closed and a breath out of her body. But Jesus had the audacity to tell these folks that have seen death time and time again. They no doubt had felt her pulse. They had no doubt had felt, looked upon her nose with a mirror. They knew no signs of life was in her. And they called her dead.